getting ready to, they've been in business now, it's close to 2 years, I would say.
Look at that salad. And that's a Caesar salad?
Yep, Caesar salad. Delicious food.
I had a spinach salad with candied walnuts and pecans, and I mean it was wonderful. Feta cheese on it.
Yeah, and that's just their little.
That was just to go with the meal.
That's just to go with the meal.
We were going to just act like we were on a diet. Now we have to admit that we ate a spicy shrimp scampi as well, with pasta and shrimp and tasso and chorizo and andouille. We had a little everything. Man,
Lordy, I'm telling you, they got good food there, and not just pizza.
Then we met this group.
This group of ladies. I had to find out what their role was. Why were they there? They were there because of the good food.
Right.
Then I said, well,
and gentlemen, don't forget there was a gentleman.
And the gentleman, yeah, on the far end. We didn't get a great picture. We didn't have our big professional camera with us. We were using our little iPhones. But anyhow, they were nice, happy, very talkative. They worked for the district attorney's office. And
they're school resource officers, basically the person in the school to make sure that everything is
how do you pronounce that word?
Truancy?
Truancy.
That type of thing?
Truancy type work. And they work in all 3 parishes because District Attorney Haney is similar to the District Attorney Horson in Lafayette. Haney has 3 parishes, St. Martin, St. Mary, and Iberia. You
got it. And we got one more picture. We got this one right here. You and I were looking at this work being done right next to Bodemulla's.
And that's the old John Facuri building. Mr. John, not John Jr.
Right.
The old Mr. John, and I remember him, I never saw him if he didn't have a suit on, a dark blue suit on, and a necktie. Never saw him otherwise. And the older he got, the little shorter he got. He just kept getting a little bit shorter and a little bit shorter. And of course his daughter, Margie, worked at American Bank for years. I guess close to 60 years. Yeah. She finally retired.
Well, you and I saw the building. We both knew it was Judge Harris, but weren't sure which Judge Harris is. Judge Vanessa Harris.
That's correct. The young
owns
judge.
The building. That's right. Not the older Judge Alonzo Harris.
She and her husband purchased this.
Right, Mr. Cynic.
And not sure what they're going to be doing. So, Judge, if you can tell us what it is, let us know.
Welcome back, KSLO. And the other thing I want to say about that is all along Main Street, that is on Main Street, but all in the district of Main Street, don't forget, there are all sorts of grants to clean up the facades on the front of these buildings. So you can get anything from like a $2,000 scholarship to a $10,000 scholarship to help work on your building. Don't forget, call Melanie Lee with the Tourist Commission and the city here in town.
And one thing we forgot to, part of what we wanted to say real quick is the Blooming on the Bayou. Miss Courtney Raymond, Mr. Johnny Raymond's wife, always sent us a reminder, but this year we can understand. This is the 8th annual Blooming on the Bayou, and it's going to take place at the City Park, the Veteran City Park in downtown Breaux Bridge, across from City Hall. How about that?
I got to get some sponsors in. Dixie Storage with a new reception hall in the old bingo parlor right there on 190. They got plenty of parking spots, a full kitchen, can accommodate up to 300 people. They've got the little grocery store / restaurant on the opposite side of town on Highway 190. They've got storage available throughout St. Landry Parish and Washington, Opelousas, and Port Barry, from climate control, little bitty units, huge warehouses. They can truck you stuff around with their trucking company. They've also got a sister company, A+ Glass, that does glass, personal, commercial, car for all your needs in Lafayette and in Opelousas. What else we got this weekend? Washington. Go down to Washington, Louisiana. We got 3 or 4 things going on.
Washington Catfish Festival, which is, they've sure picked it. Well, it's not predicted to rain.
I don't know.
They moved it up.
To try to
they
avoid
moved
the
it
rain.
back. They used to be a little bit earlier in March. Had a lot of rain that time, so they moved it to this week. This weekend, and lo and behold, I'm not so sure they're not predicting maybe a little rain. Let's hope not, but anyhow,
all weekend long.
They have some of the best bands that money can buy right here in Washington, right when you get off the interstate, and then they've got some other events.
You can go see Miss Ethel and the Washington Garden Club. They're going to have a group of speakers over at the Episcopal Church on North Church Street, the old St. John Episcopal Church, and they're going to be all kind of speakers from Miss Mary Quirk, the florist at the Biltmore Estate. great vegetable garden with
She was there when John Reshort.
They're going to talk about citrus trees and grafting,
George
Steve. If you want to go get your citrus tree grafted, that good orange tree that we like, you can go get that done in pecan tree grafting, flowering plants, all kind of talks all day long there. Then they're going to have Art Mania over at the high school, which is an extension of Pyromania. If you've been to Pyromania, where the blacksmiths and the glass makers and the 3D arts and pottery people are all going to be there, go out. That's going to be all at the Old Washington Schoolhouse. Great deal, and a whole lot of the money there goes to the St. Jude's Research Hospital.
I guess the first public...
And the library in Washington.
First public natural gas station in our area to open will probably be opened, well, by the end of April. And of course, we're in the middle of April already. So in a few days, Apache Corporation, which is a big operation that does a lot of drilling for gas and oil, and Frank's Casing Crew, and of course, everybody knows Frank's is now an international company. They're building a large additional building in that complex there, either between Lafayette or in Lafayette or Broussard, right in that area. You know what I'm talking about, right, Andrew?
I got it.
And they're going to have this natural gas filling station. So, meaning that the city of Lafayette, or city parish, I guess, government, is buying some units that's going to operate on this, and that's good
Buses
news.
And vehicles.
And because we have a tremendous amount of it. But I did read something, and I didn't cut it out. This morning's newspaper, early Wednesday morning, the newspaper had an article that the government has just announced that the Cheniere CNG plant there will be turned into a refinery where they can compress this gas into liquid forms.
Now, isn't all the pricing based on gas at that location? If you ever read the quote about what the current rate is, they always say at that. Because they have to send it in pipelines and all.
Yeah, that's correct.
So that's like the core of the entire propane industry in the country. So I mean, that's the right spot to have it.
And anyhow, that's good, because that's going to create a lot of jobs. And the Mosing family, of course, is Frank's Casing Crew. We just want to compliment them on the thousands of people that they provide a good livelihood for, and just good citizens of our communities.
Down in Crowley this weekend at the Rice Arena in Crowley, Louisiana, they're going to have the Best of Louisiana Music Fest. It's going to be Saturday from 10 a.m. until 11 p.m. Special guests will be Troy Landry and son Jacob Chudum from the Swamp People TV series. You're going to better go by. You can get a ticket at any ShopRite, local ShopRite. Jamie Bajeron will be playing, Gino Delafos, Travis Mott, Kira Viator, all kind of people playing. Go by, have a good time.
The ShopRite and Tobacco Plus must be one of the presenters, sponsors of this particular program, because their name is on all of the advertisement going out. And of course, we want to thank them for the beautiful store they built downtown Opelousas, which is just hitting a home run every day.
I agree.
The John Dan Gillian family is to be complimented on the investments they're making throughout Louisiana, and as I understand now into Mississippi and maybe a little portion of Texas.
Excellent.
So that means bigger and bigger amounts of people, larger and larger amounts of people are going to be hired. And of course, they also own Church Point Wholesale, so that place is growing back the way Mr. Horricky had it going way back yonder.
And talking about Louisiana companies helping out, Raising Cane's is getting involved and helping to sponsor this big Lemonade Day. If you've got a child who wants to open a lemonade stand, okay, coming up in May, they're going to set aside a day, May 12th, to sell lemonade, but you got to get your supplies early. Now you can start getting them. Go to Raising Cane's here in Opelousas or any of your local Raising Cane's. They'll give you a backpack full of all the stuff they need to do a lemonade stand. If you want more information, go to lemonadeday.org or go call Miss Stacy at 225-205-7265 or just ask at Raising Cane's.
We
neat project to teach
got
young
a
kids about
brand
having their
new
own business.
basketball coach hired over at LSU, Mr. Johnny Jones, who was a former player and a former assistant coach for 10 plus years there.
Easily.
Never got to knowing him.
Coached at Alabama too as an assistant.
I want to certainly wish him and the Tigers good luck. He's had a pretty good. I wouldn't say outstanding record where he's been in Texas.
But it was a little bitty school with a lot of competition. He still was getting NBA quality players that he sent to the NBA, and that's impressive. He can recruit.
Kenya, which is known for its marathon runners, came up big again this year. They won both the men's and the ladies Boston Marathon, both ends of it. How about that? They just know how to train, and maybe it's their physical makeups that help out. And what about Saints owner Benson? What about him, man?
Now Hornets owner.
Now owns the basketball team, and they're already in negotiation, talking, offering. There's going to probably be a contest of what the new name should be.
He's talking about renaming the team. That's right, renaming the mascot.
They're saying the Jazz name doesn't fit what up
Utah.
in Utah.
That's
doesn't
who bought
fit,
the original team.
Yeah, doesn't fit them.
They ain't going to give it away, I don't bet.
I guess not,
They're gonna want some money.
Well, and Mr. Benson's got the money. He's got the money, and I know the fans would like the Jazz to come back. Yeah, I really do.
But I like the idea of starting again. You know,
scratch,
cut the old ties, start all new with Louisiana.
And of course, the team, you know, was owned by the NBA Association themselves.
Yes,
all the teams were owners of the Hornets.
Well,
so this is going to be a good step right here.
And it was in their best interest to make sure a good owner came forward.
And what about Peterson? The Swede takes the Heritage by 5 strokes.
Yeah.
You notice how many of these big-time tournaments, golf tournaments, are won by foreigners.
And it didn't used to be that way. They used to dominate there, and we dominate here, but now they're crossing over on the ocean, so we got to get right.
Yes, sir. And Tiger needs to. He made one good weekend, and then
he had a bad weekend.
Then since
he's had a lot of bad weekends over the last couple of years.
I think he's kind of hurting right now again.
How about this? Sunset Garden Club is going to be coming up with their big Herb Fest in Sunset on May 5th. Mark your calendar now. That's Cinco de Mayo. The Lilly Scholarship, you're right at the end. If you want the scholarship, if you want to apply, call Ken Thibodeau for more info, 942-2736.
What about our man?
Man, he's in another movie, The Lucky One.
The Lucky One. It's a real top-notch movie. And, of course, we're speaking of Terrence Simeon. And I was able to bring him on a couple of gigs, as they call it, when he was just he was an infant at the time. Little Joe Simeon and I took him in each a car and brought him over to play for Scott. He was running for Congress. He played for us in Opelousas, and we brought him over to Alexandria. Jimmy Buffett is going to replace somebody at the Jazz Fest.
Eddie Vedder, the lead singer of Pearl Jam.
Yeah, well, see, I don't know, so I didn't want to say the name because I never heard of it before. But Jimmy Buffett. Kelly Dupre, my little daughter, are you listening? Because she's a Jimmy Buffett fan. You need to get you some tickets, baby, right away. I got my prayer book.
Opelousas Little Theater this weekend. You can go by. They're having a play right now called Superior Donuts. Great play. It's going to be Thursday through Saturday in the evenings at 7 p.m. and then Sunday matinee. I forget what time. I don't see it on my notes. But.
Okay. This weekend, like every weekend, we ask you to consider attending the church of your choice. And this thought, maybe call it a prayer. My good Father, I believe firmly in your eternal power, in your wisdom, and in your love. Increase my faith. Thanks, Andrew, for assisting, and have a good weekend. And everybody, good weekend.